Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ramsey Jordan, and today we are talking about going with the flow. We're all familiar with this phrase, this easy, laid back, just going with the flow, easygoing attitude. But in awakening, going with the flow is something completely different. It's to allow when everything's falling apart, when people are dying, when people are leaving you, when your old life is falling apart to reveal a greater truth inside you. Now we're all going to do everything we possibly can to hold things together. We're going to grab at straws. We're going to grab at anything we can to try and maintain a semblance of control. And in other periods of your life, this persistence, this ability to face obstacles would have paid off, and you will see the results. Going with the flow in awakening is when no matter what you do, nothing changes. It needs to fall apart, and it's going to fall apart. So the other side of going with the flow that people don't talk to you about is to go with the flow when it hurts. When everything you think you are, when everything you think you've built falls to pieces. This isn't a defeatist mindset. This is an acceptance of awakening. It's a stage I believe many people suffer with and struggle with, what they might call the midlife crisis or the dark night of the soul. Instead of recognizing it for what it is, which is a stripping away of everything that no longer serves you and everything you built on that mindset, on that paradigm of thinking, that has now come to its end. And this can look like a partner leaving you, losing your home, losing your money, losing your car, losing your business, people dying, people getting very sick. Anything that stops you from identifying with how you used to identify. So can you go with the flow now? First, you're going to try to hold it all together. You're going to fight things. But when no matter what you do, nothing works, you must surrender and go with the flow. And it is in this surrendering where the feelings will come up. The powerlessness, the shame, the guilt, the fear. And it's with these emotions where we must reside. We must welcome them. We must stay with them. We must sit with them. It's common that we will look for addictions, distractions, any form of avoidance strategy, blame, court cases, all sorts of ways the ego will try to grab any branch to stop itself from a perceived death, a perceived drowning in this torrent of a river. Like I said, no matter how hard you grab on, it's going to keep breaking away in your hands. I've witnessed this in my own life, and that's why I built this channel, to share what I have seen. Your persistence has a purpose and it has a value in your life, and you will see that now it can't work. It just can't. You may spend 15 years fighting someone to get a semi-positive result, to diffuse the resistance that you're feeling to this change, and you will confuse that victory as a win when all you have done is diffuse the resistance to seeing your greater self. How can you know? Ask for help, do some research. If it's so clear that things are just continually falling apart in your life, just falling away, there is a greater, bigger picture at play. And I can pretty much guarantee it is your awakening. The trick the ego will play is that it cannot see beyond its periphery. It cannot identify with anything that it doesn't know already, or parts of you that you blocked out to survive as a child. These are the parts that are calling for your attention. And these are the parts that arise as we surrender to the falling away of the old life. And this is the part you're going to resist, because the ego wants to protect and preserve your old identity that does not include these aspects within it. So to go with the flow is to surrender to the events and welcome the emotions that arise from these events. Through this, you will learn emotional intelligence, to integrate your unwanted emotions, empathy, and most importantly, self-love. To look after yourself through this storm, to weather the storm in the safety of your own awareness and self-love and presence for these unwanted and unloved aspects of self that are now calling your attention. Can you recognize them? Can you give them what they need? Can you learn what they need? Because they're blocked because no one in your family knew what they needed, so they punished these aspects of you. You felt ashamed or guilty for feeling and being that way, so you blocked them out to avoid any further punishment or misunderstandings or confusion based on those behaviors. That's the force field you have to go through. That confusion, those feelings of being punished, ostracized, abandoned, isolated. They are an invisible force field around the space where you need to go, and you use them right now, currently, as an obstacle and not a driving force. We must use them as a driving force. We must use these forces to our own benefit and surrender in trust, knowing that there is a much bigger picture that we can possibly imagine. Every single person I met that lost everything is happier the way they are now. Because everything they built before was based on the old paradigm, their survival. And appeasing other people, looking for approval, all these other things. If you are to live your authentic truth, all that is no longer serving you must fall away. And it is in this I refer to as going with the flow. I hope this has benefited you in some way. If you've enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe and share my videos. Still a new channel, learning the ways. Thanks for your support and see you next video. Cheers.